All right, so it always surprises me that when it comes to making more money in the stock market, if you're doing, for example, index fund investing, people always come up with these crazy ways to actually do it. Whether it's investing into cryptocurrency, whether it's, for example, doing some penny stock investing or just picking individual stocks, whatever it is, okay? But I'm not here making this video to tell you, hey guys, I figured out a three-way system to just double your money in 1 year or in one night. That's not what I'm here for. You guys know I'm the boring investor, and these are very boring ways to basically save you thousands of dollars in your investments, which basically means if you save that money, you'll have that money. And on top of that, to actually make more money. Now, in reality, there are only two ways to make more money if you are investing, for example, into index funds. And that's basically, well, there are three ways, okay? One, you pick better funds. And in reality, that's tricky because more than often, if you pick actively managed funds, they're more expensive. And on top of that, only about 20% of them actually have the odds to actually beat the market. So I don't recommend that. But the other two ways are very simple. It's by saving money on fees and, for example, investing more money without investing more money, which I'm going to break down in this video, and it's a lot more simple than you actually think, okay? Now, before you say, Tommy, saving money on fees, I really don't care about that stuff, whether it's 1% or 2%, it's not a big deal. When I tell you, okay, that when it comes to investing, the way you can basically turn $100 per month into nearly $1 million in 40, 45 years or 50 years of investing, the same thing happens when you take a fee and you multiply it across all those years. And that's what I'm going to break down in this video. And as always, guys, like this video on top. Also subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified. It's how I saved and how I have a lot of money in my investing, because basically I do these simple things that over time just accumulate to actually be a big deal. So first of all, okay, I remember a few years ago, I think about 4 or 5 years ago, I talked to my grandpa. And my grandpa was telling me, Tommy, I have X amount of money in my 401k. Well, he has a 403b plan. He works for a nonprofit. And I'm like, yo, that's pretty cool stuff. It was like $40,000, $50,000. And I was like, you're going to retire soon and you have enough money in here for like 2 good years. And he's like, yeah, that's true. But I also have this property I can basically sell. And with that money, we can basically have a good retirement. And it's true because the home was basically valued almost at about 700 to 800K at the time. And he got lucky with that property. But it was 30 years of working on that thing. Kind of crazy, okay? But when I asked him, what are your management fees? What are they charging you when it comes to stocks? He told me, Tommy, it's like 1 to 2%. It's not a big deal, okay? And he said it with a smile on his face. And I was like, you've been investing for a few decades now. This is what you have to show for it. But you don't even know you've been getting robbed blind by these investing professionals. Because what you don't understand is that basically just a 1% fee or a 2% fee can basically add up to a massive amount of money. And here's why. You don't think about this until you think about it. And once you know, you can't unknow this, okay? Well, you can't unknow it, not unknow. It sounds like I'm telling you to talk to your aunt or something. But here's what I want you guys to do, okay? If you're investing, for example, with a manager, or you're investing into an actively held fund or whatever, and you're being charged 1% or 2%, okay? I want you to basically send an email or call this company and ask them for the following 3 pieces of key information, okay? And I found this out by reading The Barefoot Investor by Scott. And it's a great book, okay? But overall, he says, call these people and ask them first, I want a cumulative report of how much money we've earned so far since inception. Since I've been investing with you guys, how much money have we earned net fees? So after you charge me all the fees, how much money have we earned percentage wise, okay? Year to year and also cumulatively, okay? In total and also year to year. Number 2, ask them also, compare that to, for example, the S&P 500, or you can do that yourself because the S&P 500 will tell you cumulative what it's earned for the past 10 years or 20 years, but ask them to do that too. This way you can actually have some comparison. What they've made versus what you would have made with a regular index fund. Number 3, ask them to give you an itemized report of all the fees they've charged you so far. An itemized report, okay? Including the management fees and any costs they've basically been charging you. Now, once you have this information, you're going to, 1, find out very easily that A, they've been charging you a bunch of money, and B, they have not been outperforming the market by that much, if at all, because most of them don't outperform the market at all. So you're better off just investing into a simple index fund. Now, I want to grab my phone here because I really want to put this into perspective, okay? Now, let's say you went ahead and you said, I'm going to start off investing $1,000 today, and I'm going to invest every single month $500 for the next 30 years, okay? Now, if you're being charged 1%, just 1%, okay? Remember, if you're earning 8%, remember, taxes are going to take maybe 1%, and inflation is going to take 2 to 3%, okay? Plus this fee of 1%, right? What you have left is 3%. Or if it's 2%, you have left 2%. That is your overall real gain. You don't actually make any real money, okay? Because these fees eat up everything. So when you think about this perspective, if you invest $1,000 today and continue to invest $500 for the next 30 years, and that 1% fee will charge you about, or cost you about $130,000. If it's a 2% fee, that's going to be around $235,000. While if we compare that, for example, to just investing into the S&P 500 index fund available, for example, by Vanguard, which charges you about 0.03%, that is the actual fee. Not like some 3% BS with the decimals. No, 0.03%. That would have cost you over the lifetime of your investment about $5,000 or so. That is a big difference from $130,000 or $235,000, okay? And all that money could have been in your pocket, but instead it's in the pocket of those people that aren't really doing anything for you whatsoever, okay? So what you want to do is you want to call your employer. You want to find out how many fees they're actually charging you. Call HR, call whoever you need to call, your investment company, whatever it is, okay? And find out exactly how much they're charging you. And find out about the options available that don't actually cost you that much money. And overall, the good thing about when it comes to an employer, they usually have a match. So the match kind of appropriates for whatever fees you're being charged. But if you can minimize those fees plus get that match, it always in some way is going to save you a lot more money. Now, number two, the second way to actually save, well, to actually make more money from your stock investments is going to be by investing more money. But a lot of times we don't have more money to invest. And I always recommend before you start investing, you want to be debt free. Before you start investing, you want to have a solid emergency account. This way, you don't have to take money out or be penalized with like a retirement account. And for example, you don't have to take money out if anything happens, okay? This way you don't have to interrupt your compound interest mission. But the overall thing is, there is a way to invest more money without actually investing more money. And that is by basically subscribing to the dividend reinvestment program. Obviously, a dividend is you being paid out a portion of the profits of your investments, okay? I bought McDonald's makes profit, they pay out a certain percentage of the profits to us, I get paid those profits. That's my dividend, okay? Now, if I grab that money, take that money out, great, I have the money, but why wouldn't I just leave that money in there, buy more McDonald's stock and compound it and making me more and more and more wealthy? Now, again, to put this into perspective here, okay? Same example. Let's say you've been investing $500 for the past 30 years and you've only made 1.30% on dividends. It's not that attractive whatsoever, but that's how much I make by just investing just into VOO, which is an ETF that tracks the S&P 500, okay? That's my only investment. And I also have the index fund, which is also the S&P 500, but my only investment overall is just the S&P 500. It's all I invest my money into. Now, if I did that investment, $500 every single month for the next 30 years, guess what would happen? Over those 30 years, I would have $689,000 and I would have been paid out around $82,000 in dividend, okay? Which sounds pretty good, right? You know, you have around like almost 600K, almost 700K, great stuff. You also been paid out some dividends, okay, great stuff. But if I had left that money in there, reinvesting, I would actually have a cumulative amount of about $847,000. By cumulative, I mean basically my full total, instead of being almost 700K, would almost be $847,000. It'd be basically a difference of about $158,000. Meaning just by going ahead and reinvesting those dividends, it makes a big difference. But tell me, aren't dividends taxed? Well, if you have a normal brokerage account, they're going to be taxed. But after the year, they're going to be qualified dividends, which basically will be taxed at a lower rate, which basically helps you. My point is, okay, you have two main ways to save money without really doing much work, which is one, talking about the fees. changing that whole mindset over there, okay? Switching things over, eliminating those fees, finding something better. I like Vanguard, Schwab's is available, Fidelity is available. These are all just brokerage accounts you can basically use to manage your retirement accounts or whatever you actually want to manage, okay? But number two is subscribing to dividend reinvestment programs. For most people out there, whatever you're investing, you probably don't need that small amount of money coming in every single month for the average person. So you're better off just having that money in there and having it compound, compound, compound. So when you do need that money, it does make a huge difference. Again, I told you, it's a boring video. It's not me telling you do this or buy this. No, it's pretty simple stuff. Fees and reinvest in dividends, it goes a long way. And it's the difference from having, for example, like an extra $200,000, $300,000, or even an extra $100K. The point is you need all your money. So if this helps you save even $10,000 with one phone call, it's a big difference, and to me, it's a massive win. So overall, guys, comment down below simple if you made it all the way to the end of the video. If you call your employer, if you watch this video, if you take these points into action, I want you guys to use a Google calculator and find out exactly how much money did you save on your investment fees, and calculate these things so you know exactly how to put this into perspective. Don't just watch this video, do your research too, because this does make a difference. And then there are some people out there that disagree with me, like Dave Ramsey. He's very big on active funds, and you can basically just track their performance and say, this earns me this much money. You have a 20% chance of doing that, okay? I don't like that. So I like keeping things simple, making more money overall, saving more money on fees, and just tracking the market. That's usually what works best. That's also what Warren Buffett recommends, okay? But overall, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. And on top of that, also up here is another video. And over here is my face, Luis Robin. As always, long-term team officially out.